Hey everyone, it's Cody here. Since it's fresh in my mind, I just got back from San Francisco yesterday morning, and I tell you what, it was quite a trip. There was a lot I packed in one, I guess, extended weekend. I left on a Thursday and I got back on Monday morning. Um, now, it just so happened to be Folsom that weekend. I planned the trip to go, and then Folsom is happening the same weekend, and I'm like, oh my god, it's finally meant to be. I'm gonna go. Am I gonna go? I don't want to jinx it. And then so I everything, the stars aligned. It was just the right time, and my ride all worked out, and my friends all came through, and my friends that I were staying with in San Francisco came through. Which, like, if that even happens, is like fucking rare for people to come through on shit. So anyways, I've been wanting to go to San Francisco for like. It was calling me, so I'm so happy I went, and now, Folsom was quite the experience. I mean, I have wanted to go to Folsom since I first heard about it in like 2009, and it was actually the people at Helix that not turned me onto the idea. That was all me on my own, but that kind of told me what it was, and they're like, I kind of like found out what it was through them, and they would go, and I hadn't gone with them, and I never really had the right opportunity, or I didn't want to. I can't remember all the reasons why it's never worked out, but it hasn't until this year. So anyways, just cutting right to it, the fair itself is massive. And I heard that this was supposed to be like the biggest one yet. So I did some research online before I got there, and it was said in the news that there was an expected turnout of 400,000 people. I don't know how accurate that is, but it seemed like a lot. I mean, this shit is bigger than Pride. I felt like it was bigger than Pride. It was better than Pride for sure. And it seemed like we were tackling like some of the same like there was like some of like the same concepts about equality, and they're doing kind of like, there's like people, I mean, there are people like advocating rights, and just like some of the same messages of Pride were there. I mean, it's just embodied in our community, embedded, excuse me, in our community. So when we have like a mass amount of people like this together, it's like you have to take advantage of it, and you have to get your messages out and be heard. One thing I really, really liked about Folsom, and I was really surprised by this, is how much it's embraced by the entire city. I mean, this isn't just a gay event. I think the gays may have just taken over quite a little bit, but it was really, really embraced for what it is. It's something so taboo and so, by the eyes of many, inappropriate, or sin type of thing, like that kind of like, I think about Betty Page in like the 50s, and like when she was doing all that modeling, like how inappropriate, and like there's a word I think that they even used then for it, but it's like smut, I think it was. It's so inappropriate. Anyways, it's embraced by the community. I mean, there were children there, even though, I mean, I think I've heard like, don't bring your kids, but I mean, there is a lot. There's a child area. It was free, which was nice. Pride, at least in LA, is not free. So I mean, they're probably they try to make as much money on as they can. So I found that like the bars were being pretty reasonable as far as prices go, which was nice. They didn't charge anything to get into the fair. And then of course, like, so I'm really surprised by that. Like, I was out eating the day of, and they're just like, people, I'm not even close to the fair where it was taking place, and people are like, oh, are you here for the fair? These are straight people. I'm not in a gay thing, anything. And they're like, and I'm like, oh no. They're like, oh, you should go check it out. I'm like, I'm not here, but I do plan on popping in, and that's kind of all I wanted to do. And I just, for the record, I didn't really, not for the record, like I wouldn't, but like I didn't partake, and I didn't do anything like wild or anything like that. I was just kind of like in an outfit like this. And so they're like, oh, you should pop in. You've got to see it. It's like, it's so much fun, and it's wild. And I was like, like, okay. So that the day, I'm making my way across town and I'm getting there, and I'm starting to get crowded. It's starting to get crowded as the closer I walk, and then when I get in there, it's like first of all, I feel like it's nothing that I haven't already seen. It's just the shock that it's in public. I posted some periscopes or some live video, and I hope that those were helpful, and I hope that someone liked them, and that you guys had fun with, you saw a little bit, because it's not polite and to be filming the people and their acts. I mean, they do that kind of. I mean, it's all in public. I feel like they kind of expect that it could happen, but I feel like you should be respectful. You should always ask, and the opportunity isn't there to exactly ask everyone. So yeah, I mean, it's a public venue, but I've done things in public where I don't really want it. People don't be videotaping me either. So yeah, so the first thing I see when I walk in the door is a woman naked being slapped. I mean, it might be called flogging. I'm not really sure, but I've heard that word being thrown around associated with beating people with objects. So she's being beaten with a leather, not a whip. It's like a tassel or something. It's so she's naked and being just whipped, and everyone's nipples are pierced there. So her nipples are pierced, and she was basically naked, because she was kind of heavy too, so I couldn't see what she was wearing, but she was wearing something to cover her pretties. So that was the first thing, and she was loving it. Her hair was all long. She's it was fucking hilarious. I wanted to whip it out right then and there, the camera, and tell her, not tell her, or film her. I wanted to tell her too. Anyways, and then so the next thing, I loved it because it's so funny, and I think it's the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. And I've had friends doing it, and I've had people trying to entice me with it, and I'm like, not gonna happen. But it was a playpen, or maybe almost an animal cage type thing, set up with the pup play going on. And I mean, we're talking the pup play to a 10. I've never even seen it so high. Like the ears and the butt plug tail, and other things that I can't even remember. I mean, and they're all rolling around, and they're all getting their bellies rubbed, and they're getting spanked, and all kinds of unusual things. So that was another thing. I then went into a warehouse type party where there was more common people things going on, like beer pong and drinking and such. And I allowed myself to drink a little bit more than usual, and I was getting loose, and I was charging my phone and being lame. But I met some cool people. I actually didn't meet any new friends. I didn't get any contacts, and I was a little disappointed about that. But all good vibes, all nice people, super duper friendly. I got this necklace, and it's badass. I've been wanting this necklace this symbol for so long, and I found it there, and it wasn't even that expensive. So yeah, that was cool. I mean, I openly saw a clitoris, and I haven't seen one in a very long time, not in person. And that was cray. I saw lots of dick. I saw lots of hairy ass. I saw a very, very big soft dick, which I was like, oh, it was attracted to a very attractive man. I saw quite a few attractive men. I was there with my friends. There was, probably shouldn't say their names, but one of them was a photographer, and he got some really cool pics, so I was really happy about that. I guess I better wrap it up. It's getting a little long. I don't even know if I made it all the way through the fair. It was so crowded. I had to get out of there at a certain point. I was like, I've seen enough. And then the sun was going down. I'd been there since noon, and it was 5 or 6. So I mean, I wanted to go see the Golden Gate, so I did, and it was amazing. All right. I'm going to leave it at that for this video. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you get to go to Folsom one day and experience it for yourself. I would definitely go again. All right, see you next time.